Nick ran into somebody, freaking rear-ended somebody in the bus. Oh my God.
Yeah, but the first reaction was I never had a chance.
Bullshit.
What is the biggest challenge Ty Harris faces?
Biggest challenge that I face? I think it's probably the biggest challenge that a lot of guys face is...
I'm gonna put you on the spot with this next one. People want this. People want this is gonna be good for the people. Okay, don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me.
Oh, freak.
Who do you think your biggest rival is?
Macon Murphy. Did you get that on film?
I got it on video.
Dude.
Yeah.
Horse straight endo.
Welcome to the first episode of the Let's Freakin Rodeo podcast. Before we get started, my name is Cole Harris. I'm a documentary filmmaker, content creator. Been following this guy around, filming him for 2.5 years now, and basically getting the opportunity to follow him around, get to go to all these cool rodeos, get in front of all these cool people, meeting so many amazing people. I've become kind of a rodeo content creator. And Ty, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Ty Harris. I'm a professional calf roper. I'm from San Angelo, Texas, born and raised. So I had never dreamt. I dreamt of being an NFR calf roper. That's what I worked for my whole life, and that's what I wanted to do. And you know, I'm living that. This just kind of came about because of what he's doing, and he's had a podcast before, a Christian podcast called Kingdom Vision, and so he has all the ability and all the talent and the experience to do it. And we just started talking about rodeo, and man, I was like trying to teach him about it and talk about stories and cool stuff that I loved about it. And he was like getting excited and getting interested. He's like, man, people need to hear about this. And he started bringing it up, a podcast. And I'd been saying the slogan, like, let's freaking rodeo. And it just kind of came together. We're so excited to bring this to you. Deep rodeo fans, longtime rodeo fans, we're excited to bring stuff that you probably haven't had access to, behind the scenes stuff, bring on special guests, just talk about the sport that we love. And then we're also can't wait to get new fans on and just bring the sport bigger into a new light and see how far we can go. Pretty excited about it.
Coolest part about this, I think, is, we're partnered with Teton Ridge on this deal. Teton Ridge, me and Ty, like I said, I've been following him around. I made a documentary before. We've been working on his YouTube, his social media. So us by ourselves, I feel like we would have been successful. But with Teton Ridge, I think if we could have gone here, I think with them we can just go, the sky's the limit with Teton Ridge. They're the future of rodeo, media, everything Western. They're just changing the game. And honestly, I just feel lucky, and it's pretty surreal to even have this partnership with them, to be honest.
Yeah. We want to hear from you on what you want to hear about. We'll start talking to our fans, talking to our viewers, and asking the questions that you guys want to know. Bringing on the people that you want to talk to or listen to. Just go from there. Can't wait.
For this first episode, we recorded a funny story. I think this was probably June 20-something, Reno, Nevada. We ran out of diesel on the freeway.
Yeah, San Ynez, California is where we were headed.
We were on the way to California. And so we recorded this podcast 3 months ago. Too valuable of a story to let go to waste. We wanted to set it up. We wanted to introduce it so y'all knew what was going on. But without further ado, and we get into vision of the podcast, why Let's Freakin Rodeo, tell more stories about, about the branding and the story behind why we created this podcast.
But buddy Nick, he's not here to defend himself, which there's not much to defend, but he ran us out of diesel. Can't wait to talk about it with you guys.
Why Let's Freakin Rodeo?
Man, what did we talk about? We were saying some things would happen. Everything happens when you're going down the road and full time, stuff happens. So we'd kind of make the comment, that's rodeo. Then we were like, whatever. We were getting excited about going to, I think it was 10 rodeos over 7 days over the 4th last year.
Yeah. And
I got a couple checks or whatever, and we're leaving Pinoca, and I was like, what's freaking rodeo? And it just stuck in my mind. It meant everything, because that's my mindset. That's my goal. That's my everything. That's what I live by. Mm-hmm. Is Let's Freakin Rodeo. Everything that I live for is that. So LFR, that's what I live for. And so it kind of just felt right. It kind of just hit it home for me, and it's kind of stuck ever since.
You literally eat, sleep, breathe rodeo.
Yes.
How this podcast was even an idea it birthed was me last year. It was my first year rodeoing, and I didn't know the storylines. I've been out of the game, so I'd be like, Ty, what is this guy? And you'd be like, you don't know this guy? And you would tell me like all why this guy's a big deal, what his stats was, how he's winning. You didn't know this about this guy. You would just tell me these stories. And then also we would talk about stuff with you, and bad stuff would happen. And you'd be like, that's rodeo. Like that's rodeo. Like a pickup man fell down in Salinas and got knocked out. And it's like, that's rodeo. Like there's so much stuff that happens in that. It's just like, that's rodeo.
Yeah.
And then July 2nd, we were trying to pinpoint the first time you said it. We think it was July 2nd after you won Ponoka. You said, let's freaking rodeo. It's the first time I have it on camera.
Yeah.
And it's stuck since then.
And it gives me chills even right now just hearing you say it because, yeah, like you said, that's my life. As long as I can remember, that's how I felt. Just live, eat, sleep, and breathe rodeo. And there's nothing like June cracking off and going to all these summer rodeos. Like, yeah, we love the NFR and the American and Houston and all these big rodeos. But when we leave for June, there's just something sacred about going to, 50 to 70 rodeos throughout the summer, being gone, packing all your belongings, your family, your dog, your kids, whatever it is, and cracking off. And that's it. You might fly back for 3 or 4 days if you want to get things right. If something happens at home, you got to go take care of or something, but you're gone for 70 to 100 days, 100 rodeos in 100 days. Cowboy Channel hits the nail on the head. Whenever there's something sacred to me about it, where the best man is gonna come out on top, because you got to dig deep. There's gonna be the highs and the lows. I don't care who you are. Stuff happens to everybody in every event. Bad things are gonna happen, and obviously some good things are gonna happen too. But the summer to me is just the most sacred, real part of rodeo that just, it gets me going, man. I love it.
So there's something sacred about it.
And I don't even know if I answered your question when you said, what's the goal and the vision of this podcast? To me, my whole life's about rodeo, and I want to grow rodeo. That's when my vision for this podcast is to grow rodeo, make people more informed, interested, tell the stuff that people don't get to hear. And that's how I fell in love with it. And I think a lot of people will be right on track with that. I mean, I just want to grow rodeo. That's better rodeo in every single way.
What was a highlight for you from January to the start of the summer run, June?
Oh, if you talk about a highlight, it's Houston for sure for me. I mean, anytime you can get a big substantial win on your standings in the PRCA, it's a big win or anything like that. But to be able to do that with Braden, my brother, in the fashion that it happened, I can't even really put it into words how special and like how memory and how high of a high that was for me. I mean,
it's movie-like.
Yeah, it's movie-like. It's just the way that it happened. I mean, he had a terrible, long, rough year last year. Fell off at Rodeo Houston, and to come back and split the win with him in the Final Four and to get to do that rope off, it was just, yeah. I mean, honestly, just out of this world, the fact that it happened movie-like you said. So that was for sure a high for me. The memory that we got to make is unmatched, honestly.
And it's crazy too. I mean, that was the first rodeo I had filmed of the whole year.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to be in London.
Yes.
Ended up not going to London, and it ended up not working out. It's the only reason I got to film Houston.
Yeah.
You and Brayden win it. One of my favorite videos I've ever made, and wasn't even supposed to be there. It was crazy time.
So crazy.
What is the biggest challenge that Ty Harris faces in rodeo?
Biggest challenge that I face, I think it's probably the biggest challenge that a lot of guys face is mentally being prepared, confident, and and being able to execute mentally. Like, there's so many guys out here that can rope. Everybody can rope out here. It's like everybody can ride a bronc, I'm sure. I don't know anything about saddle bronc riding.
Everybody can
I'm
ride
a big
bronc,
fan. No, but I'm a big fan. But everybody I think out here that's entered can probably ride a bronc. At least when you talk about the top 25 guys in the world, those guys can ride a bronc. The guys that are the top 5, the top 8 guys in the world every single day, year in and year out, I think they have something to them mentally, and it just gives them that edge. And that's where how they stay in that spot, and how there's a reason why a lot of the same guys make the NFR is because mentally, they're better. And I would say that's what I struggle with. I think that's probably the most common answer you'd get if you got rodeo guys in here. What do you struggle with? Well, being confident.
And that's not, you've grown a lot. That's the one area where you've grown too.
For sure.
Rodeo is such a mental sport. That's the biggest thing. Even out here at the Slack in San Ynez, California, I mean, you see guys in there just rattled back there, just rattled in the back of the box. And it's like, there's 30 people in the stands.
Yeah.
You get back into the Thomas and Mack or Calgary or Houston Rodeo in front of 75,000 people.
Such a great comment, because I think a lot of times it's not about the people that are in the stands. I think it's about the person in your head. To me, I think there's a lot of people out here that are putting the more pressure on themselves than they're even getting from the outside world, which you have financial pressure, a lot of different things. But what it comes down to is you putting the pressure on yourself, knowing I get to go to 80 rodeos this year and I want to be in the top 15 in the world in the standings to make it to Vegas. It's what I've dreamt about my whole life. It's what I've worked for. It's what I'm prepared for. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do is make Vegas. Top 15 in the world. I know I can do it. I know I probably have the talent. Mentally, can I be ready? When you back in there and you start feeling those pressure and that nervousness and that excitement, it's hard to deal with. And how are you going to handle it?
I mean, I said something today to a friend. I said, if somebody talked to you the way you talked to yourself, you would have to fight them.
Yeah.
Do you think the biggest part of the mental battle is the negative self-talk?
Negative self-talk and thought. A lot of times I think the first step though is not talking negatively about yourself. And then you stop thinking negatively about yourself. To me, like I had to quit saying anything negative. Even if I go out there and I do a terrible job at the rodeo, I used to say, "Oh God, how bad, Ty, you suck." How bad do you suck? Like, how could you suck so bad? How could you do such a shitty job, really? And I think first step is to quit saying those things, and then you start working towards not believing it. Yeah, it was an off day, whatever. I made a mistake. It happens. But knowing I don't suck, I want to be ready next time, and it ain't gonna happen again.
Well, it's freaking rodeo. Have fun, baby.
I'm telling you, dog.
I don't suck. Let's go make a good run.
It's freaking rodeo. I know I can do it.
Dude, come on. Okay, so why should fans of Ty Harris be excited for 2024?
I don't know. Hopefully this podcast. I would hope that everybody that's a fan of mine and new fans that are coming on would be excited to hear this podcast and see the things that are going to happen through this. I think there's going to be a lot of cool people that we get to talk to, a lot of awesome stories, and a lot of things that they're going to come on. I mean, rodeo-wise, I think it's going to be good. I think that through my career, it's been headed the right direction. I don't want to get stagnant. I want to get better and better and better. And I think that that's happening. So I think that there's a lot of positive things coming from me and my rodeo career, but I hope they're excited to hear this podcast.
It's a green stock. Ty Harris is a stock that you want to invest in it's not a short term. We're going to buy low, sell high. It's a 10-year investment. I'm banking my
I hope everybody wants to buy and hold. I hope they're not trying to dip out.
No, we're buying and holding this stock. Hey. We ran out of gas on the freeway yesterday.
Yes, sir. Diesel. Yes, sir.
We ran out of diesel. We traveled. Tell them
where I was at.
You were napping.
I was sleeping in the back. In my bed.
I was right here on this couch.
Yes.
I mean, I wasn't sleeping, but I had my AirPods in.
You ain't got to worry about it. You never drive anyways. You don't have to drive.
I don't drive.
Not one of your responsibilities.
Don't drive.
I did drive that day. I drove my 4.5 hours.
You drove about 4.5.
Got in bed. An hour later, I get woke up to a stop. And then I hear click, click, click. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm way back there in the back. But I just look up, like, we're in the middle of the intersection. We're in the middle of the road. I know we're in California. We've been driving in California. It seems like a day and a half.
Literally.
And so, yeah. I was just, in my mind, I'm thinking, Nick ran into somebody, freaking rear-ended somebody in the bus. Oh, my God. What are we going to do? So, honestly, it wasn't near as bad as that. We just blocked traffic for like 45 minutes. It was no big deal.
Literally, you walk in and dude, did you see my phone videoing?
Yes. When I saw you videoing, I was like, oh, he didn't hit anybody or Cole would be videoing.
But I was trying to hide it so I could get it was a good reaction. We got it good, but I was trying to get like your genuine reaction and see what you would say. Bro, before you got up, I was laughing so hard. Nick was in a fuss. What
was he doing?
He goes, well, first off, his initial reaction, we need to get him on the pod and get him to come defend himself, number one. He will get on.
Yesterday, he said, I shouldn't have done that.
He goes, well, he a day later, he said that I should have done that. But the first reaction was, I never had a chance. He goes, I told him not to take it below that white line. I told him not to take it. He goes, I never had a chance.
That's the first thing he told me. He goes, y'all. Yes, he was deflecting everything. He goes, y'all left me on this. You left me with this. I said, bro, I left you an hour ago. You did not. You can't tell me in the middle of California you didn't drive past a freaking gas
for
station.
an hour and a half, and there was not one gas station.
Bullshit. Bad part was they said that we ran out of diesel. You told me we ran out of diesel. I didn't come out here for 10 minutes because I thought, oh, we'll be all right. And I lay my head back down. I was tired. Freaking 10 minutes later, I wake up and we're still sitting in the same exact spot. I come up here and no one's doing nothing.
Our guy Kerry, in Kerry's defense, our guy Kerry, he went over there. He got himself a gallon, or he was going over there. Kerry was actually trying to solve the problem. Me and Nick were sitting there Nick goes, I don't even know what to do.
We need diesel.
And
we ran out of diesel. We need diesel.
And I'm sitting there in video mode. I'm just trying to document everything. So I wasn't helping. And then you come out there and you had to address a lollygagging mentality. No effort mentality.
No effort. Then whenever I do give it, say, hey, go get some freaking diesel. He don't even hardly put his shoes on and then starts lollygagging over there to the truck stop. Like, hurry up.
And then you go, this is embarrassing. You just sprint.
I sprint past him. I just run past.
Freaking embarrassing.
Embarrassing. Anyways, whatever. Run out of diesel. And this freaking such a sweet, nice lady from California.
Yes.
Lived in San Angelo, Texas for 5 years, my hometown that I've lived in my whole life.
Yep.
Worked at Shannon Hospital where I was born.
Yep.
Literally.
Yep.
Pulls in Texas license plates, Dodge truck, tows us to the truck stop. We get it started, whatever. And here we made it to San Ynez. So,
yeah. What are the odds we ran into that lady who's from San Angelo in Salinas, California?
Just so happened to be in Salinas, California.
Yep.
And so I asked her, I'm like, where are we at? She goes, Salinas. I look down at my buckle. I'm like, oh, perfect. Yeah. I know we're got good luck here.
It's going to Rodeo in 2023.
Yeah, last year. July 20th.
Yep.
I'll be there. Can't wait to see you there, guys.
Tell us the crew. Who are you rolling with this year? Okay, and we're obviously, without it being said, we're rolling in an RV, pulling a bumper pool trailer in the back.
It's still being discussed what we're going to call it, but we're in a bus that's owned by Nick Achille and his amazing family. We get to rodeo in. It's been a blessing. The workout, the stretches, just everything about it, the sleep, the everything about this bus has been such a huge blessing that we've gotten to. So I can't wait for the future, but we're going to be able to film this podcast on this bus this year. Let's freaking rodeo if you haven't got the memo. And, yeah, I can't wait.
So we're rolling with, it's funny because we love Dale Brigsby here. The content now that we're in content, Dale Brigsby's the GOAT in Western content.
Oh, he's for sure the GOAT.
The show that he does with his interns, because he brings interns in, is kind of like what you're doing with the rookie. Like already the content we've gotten with Nick running out of gas
on accident.
On accident, wasn't staged. It's just gold content.
Pretty good stuff.
So tell us who we're rolling with, who the crew is.
Nick Achille, rookie, 20-year-old bad man, can seriously really, really get it on, can upgrade, gonna have a big career in front of him if he does the stuff he needs to and takes care of business and keeps on the path that he is. He's gonna get it figured out. He ropes really, really well. Mr. Kerry Hines driving, big fan. Met him last year kind of off and on. We didn't really get too close to him, but long story short, he cracked off with us 4 days before he was supposed to leave in the summer, messages me, told me he wanted to go this summer with somebody. I said, well, just so happens I need a guy. He says, when do I need to be there? I said, we're leaving Wednesday. He said, all right, I'll be there Tuesday. Shows up, and man, it's been great. We're only 1 weekend, but I'm really, really excited for the future, and it's going to be good.
Literally crazy. Kerry was saying how the reason he reached out to you to say, hey, first off, do you know anybody? And he didn't know you needed somebody. He said, he was watching my documentary.
Literally.
And that was what made it wanted to go. Which was crazy.
So crazy. Such a God thing. 24 hours before, the guy that was supposed to go with me this summer that's been planning on for 3 months had some things come up and had to back out and couldn't come. But 24 hours later, I get a message on Instagram from a dude that, I've only hung out with a couple times, been around a couple times, messages me randomly. Boom. I was watching your cousin's documentary. You think anybody out there needs help this summer? Well, just so happens I do. Me. And it's been great. He's awesome. So it's going to be a big summer, I think.
This is some real life stuff. We got Brogy.
What is it? Going to the calf rubbing up there, you think? No. I miss it. Screw it.
You sure? If you want to. We're going to go watch the calf rubber. We'll be back.
Louisiana man right here. Whoa. All right. Hang on. Everybody all right? Wow. He is putting some weight on it. One more time, pay him off. That is Macon Murphy. He was 7'4". He placed in a round in San Angelo, Texas. Watch it. Come on, Jake. There it is. That is nothing but smooth right there. That is nothing but smooth as we mark it down as the fastest run of our performance today at 7.7. There we go. And it is a
W with old Mr. Jake Pratt.
One
One of my favorite guys.
Hey, he's been in the steer wrestling. He's been on the saddle bronc. You watched him in the tie down. Give him a round of applause.
Sir.
Would you do that?
I'll be right.
Let's do it.
Oh, but no, he told them guys it's
Right there.
arena.
Come on, baby.
Before we get into that, just watch the Slack. Santa
Perf.
Ynez, Perf, Santa Ynez, California. And number one, it was hot, but number two,
It was a little warm out there.
it's a little warm.
Yeah.
Tell us what happened.
Jake Pratt, my good buddy, split the win with me, 7-7. I was on the Slack this morning. They come back in the last perf today. Made a couple good runs. So Jake Pratt 7-7. We split the win, probably around 3,000. I haven't figured it yet. I think it was 3,200 for first outright, but I think split it will be anywhere from 2,900 to 3,000. Tanner Green made a good run, 7-9. No, I don't think there was any other checks after that. I think long 8, probably one last hole, maybe 9 flat. But
Our boy Macon had a scare.
who? Macon Murphy. Did you get that on
No,
film?
I got it on video.
Dude.
Yeah.
Horse straight endoed. All I know was the horse rolls, stands up, then the guy stands up and he's missing a boot. So the horse obviously did some. There was something
He
that
said he
happened.
didn't know what happened. We watched back the video. Well, they're gonna be able to see the video because I'm gonna put it in.
Yeah.
But said he thinks the saddle horn hit him, like landed on him.
Well, I love Macon. He's tough enough. If just the saddle hit him, he's fine. I was worried more about
No,
his
but
foot,
the
tendons,
horse-
ankle tendons. You know,
He said
his back and all that's fine. I'm worried about his.
to-
I'm worried about his leg. You know.
Yeah.
But hopefully
But
he's all
that's-
good.
That's freaking rodeo. That's what
He's
I
a
mean,
warrior. He'll be all right. Crazy story.
That's rodeo.
Last week, our third to last day of practice, Braden Runs went out there just literally with a breakaway rope. We breakaway and get off sometimes working on just, bending your knee and doing things right, whatever. He breakaways, goes a step off, horse stumbles straight, same exact thing, endos, but he was already in the stirrup, so he flew. The reason that was so bad right there was because Macon missed, and so he was
in the
sitting
saddle.
in the saddle. So when the horse went to endo, he was pretty much connected to him. He was on top of him.
Yeah.
Braden was already getting off, so when
He
the
just
horse
hopped
endoed,
off.
no, he flew. It wasn't even like a conscious decision. He was just already in the stirrup, so the momentum flew him
He's-
out.
Like he would on any run.
So he just gets up, everything's fine, because he was away from the horse already.
And that horse
Making miss, so he goes to sit down, and then
and
Wow.
Braden's horse went actually end over end. Macon's kind of fell and rolled, but Braden didn't. I mean,
Braden's went all the way over. Yes, thank goodness this horse didn't go all the way over because it could have been bad.
we're going to switch notes a little bit. From year 1 to year 7, this is another vast question, okay? I don't know if it's too much for you. What is the biggest thing you've learned? One thing that you could point to from your rookie year to your now 7th year.
So something that it's hard to say learned, but now I actually feel it and understand it is just take every day for what it is. Don't let yourself get too far down. Don't let yourself get too far up. Whenever it doesn't matter if you won the last 10 rodeos, doesn't matter if you fell off the last 10 times. Trevor Brazil, and I knew that my rookie year. Like I'd heard it, you hear it, and you hear it, and you read it, and you tell yourself it. But I actually feel it now because if I don't do any good the next 10 rodeos, guess what? Life goes on. They're still going to have another one. Let's say I have a bad month. So what? You go on to the next one. So I actually feel that and understand it better than ever, I'd say, is the biggest difference in me in year 1 to year 7. Prepare. I say it all the time. I say it in every interview that I talk about. Prepare, be confident, execute the best of your ability, move on, enjoy your life, and be happy that we get to do what we've dreamt of doing our whole life. So
I'm going to put you on the spot with this next one. The people want this. The people want this is going to be good for the people, okay? Don't be
Okay.
mad at me. Don't be mad at me.
freak.
Who do you think your biggest rival is?
Rival?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be mad at you because it's definitely myself. There's no possible way.
She's like, oh my gosh.
She would.
She's like,
There's nobody that that I think about, oh my God, I want to beat that guy so bad. If I'm ever my best self, I'm happy with the results. If I execute to the best of my abilities and I'm my best self on that day or that week or that month, I'm happy with the results. There's never been anybody like, oh my God, I want to beat that guy so bad, because I know I can beat anybody if I'm my best my best self.
last question. We've been going for a while. It's great first podcast, I think. What are your goals? We'll do a fun one. What are your goals? And then part 2 of the question would be over under 200,000. What for the in a regular season? Over or under $200,000 for your earnings?
So what is my goals for this year?
What are your goals
for the regular season?
For the regular season, and then over.
My
under.
regular season goal was 250, and so I would love to say over. That's my goal. Last summer I won 120,000, and I think I left I know I left a lot of money on the table. So I got right at 100,000 won. My goal is 250. If I do my job, I can get there. Obviously, I'm gonna have hiccups. I'm gonna make mistakes. If I don't let that bring me down into a spiral, if I just ride the wave, there's going to be bad stuff happen. But if I'm my best self every day, I think I can get to 250. That's my goal. I like to set achievable goals. I know that if I'm my best self, I can get to 250 in the regular season. It'd be great if things went my way at, Sioux Falls or Cheyenne or Calgary, a couple of the big rodeos. It makes it a lot easier. Like Houston, obviously, has been big. I try to tell myself, though, take my 50,000 away from Houston, and I've never had this much money won at this time of the year in the past in 7 years. So I'm just riding the wave, man. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm gonna say over 200,000. That's my goal is 250. So
rodeo's getting competitive. Riley Webb broke the record last year, $247,000. It's set at. If your goal's 250, would break that record.
Honestly, I didn't even know the number. I knew Riley broke the record last year. I didn't know his number was 247.
246, 247.
I said 250 because I thought it was achievable, but yeah, it'd be great.
You heard it here first, baby.
Well, I'm gonna say Shad. I'd bet a lot of money Shad will be over 250, so I won't have the record. But my goal was 250. I think I can do it, and I didn't even know Riley's record was 247. But there's no telling what the record will be after this year or next year or whatever. That's a record that's going to keep getting broke, because thanks to the Cowboy Channel and thanks to where rodeo's headed, rodeos have gotten better all across the country every single day. Our earnings has gone up so far, and it's only headed up. So there's no telling what that season earnings record is going to be year after year after year. My goal is 250. I think that's achievable. I would love to get there, and that sets me up to be where I want to be heading into Vegas. And yeah, let's freaking rodeo, Bubba.
That's the end of this first LFR podcast. We hope you like it. Share it with some friends. Follow us at Let's Freakin Rodeo on Instagram. Stay tuned, subscribe, like, turn on your notification bell because it's going to be fun. So we'll see you in the next one.